Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the Grapchats podcast. I am your host. My name is Steve Willis, and I am joined in this episode, and in every episode, by MrMattyMouse.
Oh my god, that's so unbelievably formal. Jesus! Did you do radio before? Did you actually do, radio or some stuff before? Holy!
I have not done radio,
Brother,
but I
secret
have
talent.
had it recommended to me by other people at times.
Yeah.
Because I can just talk... I can talk mad shit, as all of our listeners are about to find out.
Immediately broken the profanity filter within the first 10
there
seconds.
was never one. There was never one. Such filter never existed.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, my name is Matty. I am the other bald gentleman that makes up this podcast with significantly worse facial hair. But otherwise, also very happy to sit here and talk wrestling for an extended period of time for no better reason than it seems like a good idea.
Because it's a fun thing to do. That's why half the world listens to wrestling podcasts and the other half makes them.
It does feel like that.
There are so many. This is a very crowded segment. We are very aware of the fact that the segment we are breaking into is incredibly overcrowded.
But again, that's that's what I was talking about before. It's just who cares? If it's a
but
thing,
fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, if it's a thing you want to make and you think it's fun, then you make it and it's fun. And if it's just our nans listening to it, then thanks, Nan. Please excuse the swearing.
My Nan, listening to podcasts from beyond the grave. We love you, Nan. We're off to a flying start. Such a ripping start.
Or easily a live relative.
On that note, shall I jump into the Monday Night Raw review?
After a Raw comment? Yeah, sure. That seems fitting.
Yeah,
go for it.
Let's do it. Okay, So, a fair bit happened because it's the go-home for Saturday night's main event and the build for Money in the Bank at the same time. So we've got a bit to get through.
How often do they do Saturday night main event? Is this like a quarterly thing?
I think it's quarterly.
Okay, all right.
Because I'm pretty sure it was 3 months since the last one.
You could tell me it was, and I'll believe you.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
We'll roll with that.
Yeah.
One common theme that has come up right through this episode and has just pissed me off to no end. And that is disrupting the entrances of the matches. Right? So, for example, our first match was Penta and AJ Styles versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough, which has every right to be an absolute banger of a match, and it was.
Yeah.
What annoyed me was, right, Penta gets his entrance.
His entrance
which is
rules.
Great.
So, the big, spinny fireworks. Oh, with his...
It's the best. It's a very good entrance, and I'm glad he's the one that got a full entrance, because nobody else in this match got a televised entrance. So Penta makes his entrance.
AJ Styles didn't get a televised entrance?
No. Multiple-time world champion AJ Styles and first-ever Universal Champion Finn Balor did not get a televised entrance. Now, so what happened was, Penta got his, then they went to an ad break, right? Then they cut to this recap of a 12-month-old segment involving two basketball players. Then we go to a Jey Uso, Paul Heyman segment, which admittedly was a good segment, but could have very easily been moved into the space between matches, not the space between entrances. Now, apart from that, right, because once they've cut through all that, and Heyman did a great promo, of course, basically calling his shot, saying that Bron Breakker is there to weaken Jey Uso so that Seth Rollins can beat him for the world title. Right? And he did it brilliantly because it's Paul Heyman and that's what he does. Now, the match actually starts. It goes as spectacularly as you would expect.
Yeah.
With these four guys.
Sure.
Right? A great match. I was going to say Chad Gable interfered, but no, El Grande Americano interfered.
Cool.
And Finn Balor got the pin on Penta. Now, yeah, again, the match was fantastic, but it just made it feel so clunky and kind of awkward at the start because of how the entrances happened. That kind of just it turns you off a little bit, but then as they get into the match, of course, you're hooked because of who's in it and what they can do.
I unfortunately fall on the category of, I think, El Grande Americano. I find it racist. Every time that pops up, it's
1,000%.
It's like,
yeah. There's a very fine line that they're pretending to walk. Yes.
Yeah, it's wild that we're still doing that, but I mean, sure.
Yeah. So they cut after that to a backstage interview with Io Sky. Barely even gets started. Becky Lynch interrupts. Foreshadowing, they're going to do something in the future. That's
makes sense.
Pretty much guaranteed at this point.
Becky has bangers with all of the Japanese ladies on the roster. So, like, man, let it happen. Like, Becky's great. Yeah. Becky and Asuka's great. Becky and Kairi's been great. Like, yeah, sure, 3 for 3. Like, that's never a bad time. Like, that sounds great.
Oh, yeah. Becky's matches are always great. So, not going to complain there. Moving straight into a Money in the Bank qualifier triple threat. They did this the great thing that I do like what they do now, where we've gone from the backstage promo with Becky to the cameraman following her through Gorilla into the entranceway.
It's a good shot, yeah.
I love the shot. They don't overdo it. Like, I'm pretty sure it might be 1, maybe 2 per episode.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's enough. That's just the right amount for specialty sort of shots. So yeah, it goes to Becky, Roxanne Perez, and Natty. Becky was the only one that got an entrance. So this was Becky's entrance, ad break, promo for Fanatics Fest, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul promo with New Day and Grayson Waller in the background talking about something, a bit of foreshadowing. And then they just cut to in the ring. Roxanne and Natty are already there. Went well. Like, triple threats can be a clusterfuck at the best of times.
In a fun way, in a good way, in the way you want. Yeah.
Lyra Valkyria interferes.
Yep.
Roxanne pins Natty, and it furthers the storyline between Becky and Lyra.
We salute our tiny chief. Let's go, Roxanne.
Yeah, and she did great, and she was the first woman to qualify.
Hell yeah.
A great promo backstage between Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Following on from the Jey Uso promo earlier with Paul Heyman, Sami basically does the "I've got your back" promo. They're pretty standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, it's a simple story, but it works when told right, and they did it right. And here we go again for Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. Sheamus does his entrance.
Love Sheamus. Like, man doesn't
so good,
get
and
enough
he looks $1 million now.
Giant
like,
pale bastard.
Got the 4-pack going. Shamey, Shamo. He's done well. So we've gone from his entrance to an ad break to a flashback segment to a backstage interview with Adam Pearce, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine, where Tozawa demands a match with Rusev. What could possibly go wrong? And then, yeah.
I mean, look, like, I know it's Akira Tozawa now, but, like, Akira Tozawa is a demon and has been a demon multiple times in his life. I know that's not what will happen foreseeably, but, I mean,
he's good at doing the smaller underdog style match. It is a story he's good at telling.
But also if you ever watched him in Japan, he'll also kick your goddamn head in. Like, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it'll probably be really fun, and then Rusev will eat his whole lunch.
Gable interrupts and asks for a Money in the Bank qualifier. Then New Day interrupts him, and then they cut to the ring. Grayson Waller's already there. What I will grant them with this match, Sheamus and Grayson Waller beat the dog shit out of each other. It was very, very hard-hitting match.
Always.
A lot more tease towards a split between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
How long can they tease a thing? Come on. It's been since they teased it at Elimination Chamber that I went to last year in February.
Yes.
That's 16
yes, I was
ago.
Also there.
That's
that was
16 months ago.
Right. Just do it already.
Just do it already.
They're probably closer now than they've ever been.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, this is so far overdue.
They better be.
Sheamus wins clean with the brogue kick. But yeah, excellent match. And they hit hard. Both of them hit hard.
Yeah.
So now we go into just a card rundown for main event, announcing all the matches.
Cool.
Standard stuff.
Yep.
Backstage promo with Seth Rollins and Gunther.
Cool.
That went very well. Gunther, they might be trying to get him into babyface territory. Especially if he's working against Seth Rollins, because Seth is a great heel. If there's a heel that can push Gunther towards babyface, it's Rollins.
They gotta do something.
Especially Rollins.
They gotta do something with Gunther at this point because it feels mean. I know. Maybe it's just the haha. I like the good wrestling. You silly wrestling nerd. You, but to Jey Uso, to Pat McAfee, to now we're talking to Logan Paul as who'd you upset, man? What's going on? Please.
I understand that completely. I would say because they've done the same story with him now twice in a row, where he was unstoppable heel monster, goes to WrestleMania and gets beaten. They've got it. They did that twice in a row. They did it with Sami Zayn in the Intercontinental title. They did it with Jey Uso in the World title. Time for something new, please. And this might be good. I'll let him have a go. I'll let him have a go.
Sure.
Okay, next Money in the Bank qualifier. Rippers versus Zoe Stark versus Kairi Sane. Went very, very well. Rhea was the only one that got an entrance. Again, this entrance thing is just bothering me. It's just a thing that just pokes at me and bothers me. I hate it. But fucking alright, fine. Right, so only Rhea got an entrance. Zoe Stark injured herself quite badly.
It went well until it didn't.
It went well until it didn't. This could have been a star-making performance for Zoe Stark until the point where she does a springboard missile dropkick. Her right foot stops and the rest of her body keeps going. That's the only way I can describe it.
Oh, let's not dwell on it, please. Oh my god. Please no.
On a very bad angle. Have you seen the clip?
I don't. Yes. I've seen it once. I never want to see it again.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's the Anderson Silva clip.
It's that's immediately where my brain went as
it goes straight to Anderson Silva, where where Chris Weidman checks the kick and it just goes snap flop.
Yeah, we can stop now. We can stop. We're good.
No more detail is really required. It didn't look as bad though. I'd say it's a knee injury, not a full leg break. I'm gonna make that distinction. This might be a year off and not a year and a half, 2 years for a broken leg. Just guessing. We still haven't heard.
Get well soon. I don't however
I
long
hope
that
she
takes.
gets well soon.
Get well soon.
Ugh. So which brings it down to Rhea versus Kairi. Rhea wins with the Riptide. Was a good match. Obviously, there's not much injuries happen. It's one of those unfortunate things that sometimes pops up. So they made do with what they could on short notice. So they did well. And Rhea qualifies. They cut to a pre-recorded promo on Tozawa from Rusev. I like that he hasn't flat out said Redeemer.
It's Miro.
But you can tell
it's Miro, but it's the WWE version of Miro.
Yeah.
It really is.
But
I love the Miro promos, so I'm for it, man.
There's the opportunity for more depth in this character than there ever was in flag-waving Rusev, right? This character could go a lot further than your stereotypical foreign heel could possibly go. So I like that for Rusev, and I'm interested to sort of give it some time and see where it goes. Kind of a weird backstage promo next. So they cut to the Judgment Day's clubhouse, and Finn just kind of randomly shows up with Roxanne Perez and like introduces her to the group. After many, many weeks of Finn saying to Dom, no, we can't add any new members, Finn just kind of goes, here's Roxanne. She's got some chicken tendies for Dom. Can you see I'm trying to undermine Liv Morgan? You can hardly tell, can you? I'm so subtle and sneaky. Here. Okay. Like, they've got to fill in this time where Liv Morgan's away shooting movie, and they've got to fill in the time somehow. So...
You described this show briefly to me, and I'm still bored. Like, it's... You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like... This is... You will find this out over the course of listening to, at the very least, this podcast, is that I don't watch a lot of WWE. It's not my style of wrestling anymore, because I like my wrestling when it has wrestling in it. And I can't do it. Like, there's so much. Oh, there's a promo. Oh, look, there's a person talking behind another person. I wonder what that's doing. Then there's an entrance. Now there's not an entrance. Now there's a promo. I was like, I don't care. Like, like, sometimes I care. When it's good, like, but for the most part, I don't care. I really don't. I really don't.
I completely understand. Like, it's one of those things. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's complete dog shit.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, that's... I might have a rant later on in the episode, or maybe in the next episode, about WWE's inability to end stories. But the Judgment Day story needs to end. Remember, it started with Edge, and Edge has been gone from that company for a long, long time. Let the story end. But that leads us to the main event, Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker. We know they've had great matches. They've had great matches before. Both of them got entrances, and this is the only match
that was
on the show.
That was going to happen.
Where you kind of have to for a main event involving the world champion.
Yeah.
This was, to my knowledge, Bron Breakker's first singles match with Paul Heyman there as a manager. I think this is like properly cementing him now as a full-fledged Paul Heyman guy. Like there was always talk about.
Didn't he come out and kill Sammy a few weeks ago? Wasn't that a thing? I just remember the entrance because Paul was just as orange as Bron was.
Yeah. Oh no, yes, that was right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
So orange. It's so gross.
Oh. It's that spray tan that's a borderline racial slur.
It's real close. It's real close to blackface.
One step back from blackface.
Real close to blackface. It's not. It's orange face, I guess. But
orange face. It's I'm surprised it isn't branded with Trump's name on it.
You don't know it's not. You don't know it's not.
Anything's possible these days. The match went well until the finish where Seth Rollins ran in. And that set up... Heyman set up for Sammy versus Punk. So Seth runs in, beats up Jey Uso, DQ, blah, blah, blah. Jey Uso stands tall at the end of it just to get sneak attack blindsided by Logan Paul. Punches him right on the jaw. He crumples, sells it really well. And it kind of just ended with that. Just Logan Paul with a shit-eating grin on his face.
Great. Cool.
That's a choice that they had. Okay. Now.
Please tell me SmackDown was a sort of show where they had less people talking. Please, for the love of God. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better. I would say better than Raw, but that's not really saying much.
Yeah, okay. I mean, one of them has to be better. That makes sense.
So, we start with an in-ring promo by Tiffany Stratton.
Cool.
She's doing well on promos. I like the way she's developing on promos has been really good. So, cuts a promo for Money in the Bank. The standard thing that champions do before Money in the Bank. Yep, don't care who wins because I'll beat him. Alexa Bliss comes out. Then Charlotte comes out.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a lot of note really happens, except a little bit of like they come in.
I can hear you turning pages of written notes. What a thing to have in your recap. It wasn't important.
But Alexa, Tiffany basically just dragging Alexa and Charlotte, and essentially saying they're too old to be in the top spot. I think that there is a significant age gap between Alexa and Charlotte and Tiffany.
Yep.
But still, none of them are too old for the main event picture.
I don't know. It works for Tiffany. Tiffany's super young. She's like, I feel like she's like sub 25. Like she's young as hell. So
super young. Yeah.
So like she might literally be like 10 years younger than. I'm like, I don't know. Talk your shit, girl. Talk your shit.
Yeah. So the three-way qualifier after that, Charlotte stays in the ring, and then we get entrances for Julia and Zelina Vega. I would say shock win for Julia. Because this is her SmackDown debut as a full-time member of the SmackDown roster.
They can't book her immediately to lose. They had to. That has to be a win.
Yeah, but I guess it's surprising when it comes at the expense of Charlotte. But I'm sure she'll find some other way to qualify.
Yeah, for sure.
Pre-recorded promo hyping Ciampa versus Chris Sabin for later in the night. Goes pretty well. Like, it's all right. Yeah, because they're sort of building the tag team feud.
Sure.
And
was the match good?
It was.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It was.
That tracks.
So this one caught me off guard because they did their standard bullshit as I went over in the Raw review, right? Chris Sabin did his entrance, then an ad break, then a promo for Stephanie's Places, then a backstage segment involving the women's division, which was basically just a gang fight. And then Ciampa got his entrance.
Oh, so they just
like,
put stuff in the middle. What was he just like standing by during that?
I don't know. I would love to see like if they do the old picture-in-picture, because it would just be Chris Sabin standing in the ring, waiting for the ad break to finish and waiting for all the promos to finish. So I don't know what he does, how it like because you can only play to the crowd for so long. There's only so much, minutes you can fill by doing that, and they just had him do it. Okay, keep the crowd entertained somehow. Do some stand-up or something, I don't know.
Yeah,
right. The big story point for this match was, in the finish, Candice LeRae interferes. Ciampa wins with his finish. So sort of they're a three-person unit again. Johnny and Candice and Ciampa. Which is cool. Okay. They work well together. Into a backstage promo for Fraxium. So they've got a tag team title match in the main event. And I guess in the match, I'll just sort of maybe jump ahead a little bit here. In the match, they play... Like, I know it's a very old, played-out story, but when it's done well, it's done well, and that is that the story of the match was speed versus power.
Yep.
And
never be bad.
And they did well. Like, did well with the promo, and we straight into another video package recapping Cena's heel turn.
Just in case you don't know about it.
Yeah.
The off chance you missed that one from
through some
4 months ago, whatever happened, February, 3 months ago, whatever it was.
Damian Priest was supposed to do an in-ring promo, but his entrance turned into just a brawl with Drew McIntyre.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm very much
they've got a cage match at main event.
I'm very much of the Samoa Joe camp of Samoa Joe did an interview once where he talked about some of the asking, they go, you end up being really good on promos. And he goes, I think the thing with promos is that eventually you can only talk so much before someone has to get punched in the face. Like, you have to, you can't
100%.
just keep talking. Someone has to get decked. So the fact that these two are at this point where it's just like, it's on site now, perfect. That's what you'd like.
Yep.
We're going to kill each other.
That's what you want the build to a cage match to be.
100%.
So kind of a Fatu family meeting, because they're not the bloodline now, but they're still all kind of hang out together. Basically, Jeff Cobb, or now JC Mateo, Jacob Fatu wants nothing to do with him. Just, I don't trust you, I don't know you, you're not family.
I don't need an extra person to kill things. I kill things. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So from the all women's gang fight promo segment from earlier, we ended up with a tag team match: Michin and B-Fab versus Piper Niven and Alba Fire. B-Fab got the win. You don't see that too often. She got a clean with her finish, pin on Alba Fire, and the match was good. So yeah, hopefully it means they're doing some more with B-Fab, giving her more time. I think because she kind of came in primarily as a talker. So if they let her do more in the ring, let her have more physicality, I'm all for it.
Is Alba Fire still with the secret Hervis?
Yes.
God, it's my favorite thing. I love Chelsea Green.
Yeah,
I love. As soon as I heard this is like, she's the president, secret Hervis, I was like, phenomenal. No notes, fantastic.
Yep.
Please,
and it was like
please continue.
The act works well.
Keep adding people to it, please. I want it to be like 7 people, like a motorcade, like 8 people deep. Like, just keep going. I'm so about it. It's so good. It makes me so happy.
Campy comedy has a place in wrestling, always.
Wrestling is so camp inherently. Like, it's all nonsense. So, like, yeah, build the silly in. 100%.
It's so pantomime-y. So just let it be pantomime-y. Pantomime is meant to be silly, and let it be silly.
It's a drag show with live stunts.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I'd agree with that. Street Profits cutting a promo on Fraxium. They were kind of interrupted by Solo, which was good. Like, because it kind of just reminded them that Solo's there, and for now, him and Jacob are on pretty good terms. They could work together as a tag team, so having potential other tag teams kind of looming around the Street Profits works. Totally works.
Worst comes to worst, like, oh no, I don't have Jeff Cobb, so I have to use JC Mateo instead. Oh no, like, damn, I guess I settle for Jeff Cobb. Oh no, how terrible that must be.
Exactly.
Like,
which he just keeps gigantic monsters inside Pokeballs. It's just like,
kinda.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb, I choose you. And so
who wouldn't?
Yeah. So again, we've got Solo making the entrance with JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu. Then they cut to an ad break. Then they come back with Legado del Fantasma doing a vignette. But it is announcing that they will be at Worlds Collide. I think they've got a trios match with 3 guys that I don't think are actually being like promoted or pushed as a team.
Triple A people, I assume?
Yeah, 3 AAA guys. And it could be an absolute banger. There's every possibility of that leading to a great match. But yeah, it's Jacob and JC Mateo versus Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. Outside interference by Solo. Standard bloodline shit at this point. And JC pins Jimmy Uso with his finish. The Tour of the Islands looks sick.
God, I love the Tour of the Islands.
It looks sick.
It's never been bad. It's been great since he was it like Matanza Cueto in Lucha Underground?
Matanza,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
Looks
forever.
great. And he's that strong, he could pull off that move on anyone.
He's
I just can't wait till
42, isn't he, too? He's like 40-something, and he's still doing it. Like, he's a freak, man. They build Islanders differently. It's not the same. It's not fair. Like, it's
he's
not
like,
okay.
he's an Islander. He's also Filipino, isn't he?
I think so. I think it's like Hawaiian Filipino, I think.
Yeah. So they're 18 till they're 50. He's fine. Like,
it's a good
he's
shout.
fine. He's got a good 10 years left in him easy.
Yeah, for sure.
LA Knight backstage promo for Money in the Bank. So we had 2 promos in a row. We had LA Knight. Always does a great promo.
Yeah, cool.
Never does bad promos. For Money in the Bank. R-Truth. He comes out and cuts the promo of his goddamn life. This was because there was minimal funny. Like, this is the first dead serious R-Truth promo I've ever seen. And loved it. It was great. It really set the stage for him and John Cena. And, yeah, honestly, you couldn't ask for any more from a promo. Great things there by Truth. Another triple threat qualifier for Money in the Bank. So we've got Aleister Black, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Can I guess who took the pin?
Take a guess.
Was it Nakamura?
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. But it was done. It's a finish I normally only see from heels. But it kind of works when it's LA Knight doing it. So what happened was Aleister Black hits the Black Mass on Shinsuke. LA Knight throws Aleister Black out of the ring and then just pins Shinsuke.
Well, LA Knight is just a face, like, he's just a heel. He's like The Rock, right? Like, he's just a heel that's cool, so we let him get away with it. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, he's just kind of, like, he's like, just the people
sweet. Love him, so he can't be a, proper heel, but the occasional heel move here and there.
It's like the Eddie Guerrero thing, you know what I mean? Where it's just, like,
exactly,
it just seems smart
like
instead of heelish. Like, he just seems cool.
100%. And it really made me want to see Shinsuke versus Aleister Black one-on-one. Like, teasing it in a triple threat is a great way to make people want it, because now I want to see it. I want it bad. I want to see that match.
I think a few years ago,
each other's heads off.
I think a few years ago that would have been really cool. I don't know if it's as cool now in 2025, but it's all the parts are there, but like, I don't think either of those demons are quite the demons they used to be.
True. The nostalgia gets me, though.
It does.
It does.
No one's immune to it.
It hits me bad.
No one's immune to it.
Now, The Miz and Carmelo Hayes backstage promo. So, this is kind of weird as well, because The Miz he says that he gave up a Money in the Bank qualifier to put Carmelo in, which is not his character at all.
I don't know what they're doing with these two, man. Don't talk to me about these two.
And it's still very jarring and weird and kind of disrespectful that Carmelo's got this Andre the Giant pendant hanging off a necklace, and he just calls it Dre.
Sure. I mean, that's fine. He's cool. Yeah. Like, Carmelo's one of those people that just, like, that's the NXT demon, man. That was him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, for me, for a long time, had the same thing that, like, Swerve has, where he's just cool as shit. Like, he didn't do it like, you're just like, God, that guy's cool. I don't know why, but he is. And they're making him less cool.
Yeah,
he feels less cool.
Pairing him with The Miz,
and like having him be kind of cringy when he was doing the stuff where he was talking with like Bianca or Jade forever ago, and that was kind of cringy. And then he just lost everything forever. Like, I don't know. Like, it feels less cool.
Yeah. It's straight into a video package for Logan Paul and Jey Uso. The video packages they're pretty good.
They're always really good. They're always
they
good.
do bangers. Yeah. They do banger like video packages, but they're never bad. Like they're always good or really good. And yeah, we got the job done. It tells us about the match. Another backstage promo. It's getting old. I'm telling you, it's. Oh.
Can we stop recapping them soon? Do they all matter? Can we just ignore them?
No. Jacob
I'm not even
kidding. Jacob is getting a Money in the Bank qualifier. Cool. And Solo has already qualified, so they're both going to be in the match most likely.
Cool.
Let's jump to the main event. Fraxium and the Street Profits put on an absolute banger of a tag team match. I mean, the finish was not really a finish. It was a schmoz. Run-ins by all the other top-level tag teams. And then the big selling point right at the end, the Wyatt Six come back, just basically do the old lights go down, lights come up, and just lay out the entire tag team division and stand tall at the end. They do a little, because the day of SmackDown was Bray Wyatt's birthday, they do a cake. They have a cake right in the middle of the ring, and Uncle Howdy blows out the candle, and that's like the fade to black.
That's very cute. I mean, that's a know if you know thing, but that is very cute. That's awesome.
Yeah, but Alexa Bliss was not involved at all. So they still haven't pulled the trigger on putting Alexa Bliss in the Wyatt Six. That's cool. Pairing them up in some way. I'm sure that'll come later. Okay. Shall we go on to Dynamite?
Do you want to do main event first? Do you want to wrap it all up, or do you want me to do Dynamite? I could do Dynamite.
Yeah, let's go for Dynamite because that happened way before main event. So let's go.
Sure. With that. Dynamite this week was weird because this is also a go home week for AEW. They have the two shows before they have Double or Nothing, which happened 6 hours ago now, as of recording this. It was also Dynamite was not the usual kind of Dynamite where AEW does a lot more wrestling, which is why I like watching it, because there's a lot more wrestling, and they had a lot more kind of segments. The two big segments that they had, they're kind of like big talking segments, were quite fun though. The show opened with Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page, who are the finalists for the Owen Hart Cup, and the winner of that will get the title shot at All In against Jon Moxley, the eternal Jon Moxley. They could never make me hate you. And it's a really fun promo. It's Will, trying to kind of ingratiate himself to Hangman and be like, it's good to see you kind of coming back and picking yourself back up again. But like, I need this. I need to be I've done everything right. I've done everything the right way. Like, I need to be, like, I want this more than you, is the way that he said, I want this more than you. Like, I want to be the world champion. And Hangman kind of responds by saying, like, you want this, but I need this. 2 years of my life, I've not won a tournament. I've not won a title. The only thing I won made me feel worse, which is talking about when he caved Swerve's head in a cage match. That is difficult to go back and watch because it was very, very violent. And it's just like, I want to be the people these people want me to be. I want to be the kind of person that like my wife and my children want me to be. Like, I want to be the kind of person that I was again. I need to do this. And then kind of Will getting the last bit of that promo and saying, like, I understand all this, but you've done these horrible things and I've been the one doing it. Like, I have to do this. Like, it has to be me. Like, I've wrestled Mox twice and I lost both times, but you've beat him. So if I can beat you, I can beat him. And even if I can't beat you, then I will have your back to kind of defeat the Death Riders and get the world title back. And they have this kind of like closing stare off. They walk up the ramp. They have this nice face off towards each other with the trophy in the middle. It's very, very well shot. It's very cool. It was cool because they kind of walked away and then immediately behind them on the Tron, it cut to Jon Moxley doing a promo about to come in. There's just like, yeah, that's the guy. Like, that's the person that they're both after. And then we have what is becoming Dynamite tradition, which they do an all-star tag match. This was Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Swerve Strickland. That's all fun, and it was very much a like everybody in the pool kind of match. It was ridiculous and ludicrous. You then have Death Riders trying to interfere, and then you have like the Ops coming back to interfere and try and like help out and all those kind of things. Like Willow's on the outside and Shibata's getting involved, and it does turn into this like big schmoz. The team of our faces of Joe, Hobbs, and Swerve got the win in that one in the end in just like a big thing of ridiculousness. The Young Bucks have been very, very fun since they came back to AEW as well. They're just, the matches are really fun. Like, they're such easily hateable douches, but they're also still one of the best tag teams of all time. So they're very, very, very fun, and everyone does their job. So
I think it was you that that mentioned in one of the many group chats that we're in about wrestling that they are theatre kids. Because 100% agreed. Yes, they are.
Yeah. They're big dramatic theatre kids that like doing flips every once in a while. They're doing some violence. And it is so overblown, but fun. And then we had, there was another match. It was Anthony Bowens, who's been kind of getting this little push at the minute recently, which has been really, really fun, versus Ricochet. The man fresh off of beating someone with only one leg. Ricochet doing the absolute like work of his career at the minute. It's so fun to watch him just be a hateable prick, but also unbelievably talented. He won that match. It's furthering towards, he has a stretcher match with Mark Briscoe at the pay-per-view, which I feel started over the fact that Mark Briscoe started insulting him for being bald, like Ricochet. Ricochet's like, but you're also bald. And now they're both kind of like, screw you, let's kill each other, which is wonderful nonsense, but I'm on board.
Sometimes that's all the storytelling you need.
Sometimes that's all you need. It's the simple things. As a bald man, I understand. We had this segment of MJF formally joining the Hurt Syndicate, which is, MJF has this wonderful ability to go from serious and evil to like a Looney Tune almost, like just full kind of silliness, and it was great. They do like the formal contract signing. Everyone's wearing black and gold. His black and gold suit is ridiculous. It's this
over the top, so over the top, but I loved it.
Comes out with like Smart Mark Sterling, his lawyer. Like they're still keeping that going forever. He has this wonderful line of like, what is it? It's like my dumb bitch of a mother always told me that the greatest night of my life would be when I finally got married. That silly bitch clearly never joined the Hurt Syndicate. Like it's so dumb, but like it's great. And then
he's a master of lovable to hateable in a fraction of a second.
Really easily, yeah.
He's great at that.
They had the Sons of Texas come out afterwards. They like cut some promos on them, which is Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. They have the tag title match against the Hurt Business at the pay-per-view. It wasn't the best promo from Dustin Rhodes, unfortunately, who's good most of the time. It meandered a little bit, but like it did the job you wanted it to do. But it was kind of like the lower point of the show, at least for me personally.
Is Dustin Rhodes on the mic becoming a bit old man yells at cloud?
Yeah, but he is.
Do you think
he is old? So let him. Like, yeah, sure. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we'll allow it. That's who he is. The final wrestling match of the show, because there was only 3, unfortunately, was Mina Shirakawa and Julia Hart. Really, really fun match. Julia Hart is back to being looking really jacked since she came back, which is great. And Mina Shirakawa continues to be awesome and more over with the crowd by just the sheer virtue of silly dancing and being really good at the wrestling. And it's hard to hate Mina Shirakawa. There was like some attempts with like Sky Blue, I think, is looking like they're linking back up with Julia Hart again now that both of them are back from injury, which is great. And we're furthering towards the match between Mina Shirakawa and our wonderful Toni Storm at the pay-per-view, which is going to be a delight. Right at the end of the show, we kind of got this segment earlier on where like Samoa Joe was like, we're going to, you know, after their match, it's like, we're going to find you guys. We're not wait until the pay-per-view. We're going to beat your asses tonight. And it's the Bucks, like, as they're leaving, they're getting interviewed by Renee, being like, well, look, clearly they didn't find us for the rest of the night, so, like, let's get out of here. And as they're walking away, it cuts back. Samoa Joe just appears out of a curtain and brains one with a trash can, and then it becomes, like, a proper old school, everyone brawls ending. Everyone's hitting each other with plunder. Kenny Omega is posing on the stage while chaos happens around him because he's also the biggest theater kid of all time. It's just aura farming for fun. And then you had Gabe Kidd show up to kind of put the odds over to the bad guys' favor. He's hitting people with the briefcase. He's aligned himself with the Death Riders. And that is kind of how the show went off the air for Dynamite, in a show of pure unstructured chaos leading up to a pay-per-view with a lot of different bits and pieces on the line. It was very, very fun.
And to build for an Anarchy in the Arena match, that it makes sense to end it that way.
100%. Especially when you have all the storylines kind of linked together. Like, yeah, just put them all like, throw all the kids in the pool. Let it be fun. Collision happened the next night. It was a Thursday night collision for, I guess, I don't know, American broadcasting reasons. Like, I think it's the basketball playoffs is what's doing it, I think. I don't know or particularly care. Collision was mostly, was the opposite, where it was a lot of wrestling. It was a big wrestle show. They kind of just put everything on there. And a lot of it was like, not of major consequence, but very, very fun. You had the Don Callis family, which was Rocky Romero, Konosuke Takeshita, and Trent Beretta versus the Outrunners and Bandito, which is mostly to be like, look how cool the Don Callis family are. And they were. Takeshita continues to be awesome. Rocky and Trent are really fun doing the like Roppongi Vice tag team stuff. The Outrunners and Bandito tried, and they failed. They lost to the Don Callis family. Immediately after, you had Jay Lethal and Carl Fletcher, also of the Don Callis family. Carl Fletcher picked up a win. They've had Adam Cole recently on commentary a lot rather than wrestling. I think he picked up a minor-ish injury not long ago. I think was like reporting on it, because it seemed like they were building. They did a little build on a Collision ages ago that looked like they were going to do Sammy Guevara versus Adam Cole, and then that clearly just fell through. But now we had Carl Fletcher very much going over, being like, give me the belt, I'm next. And yes, I support our dickhead from Sydney becoming TNT champion. He's been so good. He's still so young. The pink gear is awesome. I am all on
I thought that was something he'd just done for the Owen Hart tournament.
Nope.
But if that's just his full-time gear now, cool.
I'm all for it. Like I said, looked $1 million. Jay Lethal is always good. And if they're building towards Adam Cole and Carl Fletcher, that would be great.
Yeah.
Then they
It's unfortunate. Like, if this is another injury for Adam Cole, it's upsetting to see. And because I'm sure, like, from the company standpoint, they've got to be questioning what to do now. Like, if he's hurt again.
Yeah, I know. Which is always the most annoying part of it. But what can one do? They had the Paragon, actually. So the other members of his little crew, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, took on the Grizzled Young Veterans. That match ruled. Watch that if you can. It's really, really fun. Like, Grizzled Young Veterans are great. Like, essentially, those four men just, like, beat the crap out of one another. It was very, very similar to the way you described Grayson and Sheamus. They just hammered each other. It's awesome. Paragon, so Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong pick up that one. They also then announce they're doing the three of them, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole versus members of the Don Callis family at Double or Nothing. Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and Carl Fletcher. God, I can't believe I forgot that. So they announced for that one. Josh Alexander was up next. He took on AR Fox. Man, I hope they have AR Fox win the matches soon. They don't need to. He's so good to watch AR Fox wrestle. Like, and I'm glad that he's consistently on television. But they had Josh Alexander, the newly minted Don Callis guy, pick up that one. It was almost like the Don Callis show. They were all on the show. They had, and then the last kind of portion of this, they did a lot of CMLL crossover, because they have Forbidden Door is obviously coming up. They're doing Grand Slam in Arena Mexico in not too much time as well. So they had a bunch of those talents on as well. Mercedes Moné took on Reina Isis, who is fantastic. That was very, very fun. Anytime Mercedes gets to mix it up with luchadoras is very, very fun. You could tell she loves wrestling that kind of style. So that was a good exhibition match. Then you had Mystico, Templario, and Mascara Dorada versus Valedo Jr., Magnus, and Ragido. I don't know all of these people super well, but essentially, 6-man good lucha thing happened. If you like lucha libre, it's really like, if you like the acrobatic stuff in wrestling, it's a really good time. Like, it's fun to watch people defy gravity for a bit and just kind of turn your brain off. And then they had Roosh, and Drelistico versus Speedball Mike Bailey and Commander, which is another just like absolute banger. Watching Roosh belt people never gets old. There's something about a Roosh match that is fun and scary. But you have the faces pick up the victory there. They also had Okada come out and like taunt Mike Bailey. Like he was gonna do do his big pose, and instead he just flipped off Mike Bailey, who proceeded to like heel kick his like finger and then grab the belt, which was a really, really fun little bit because they have Mike Bailey versus Okada at the pay-per-view as well. And that was Collision. Collision was very much a match a minute affair. And all of the wrestling was like good to very good. So it doesn't all have to be a story. Sometimes it's just fun to watch good wrestling happen.
Yeah, 100%. After that was, let's see, Saturday night's main event. Some things go really well on this show. Jesse Ventura with a live mic, never a bad thing.
Mwah, Marta from heaven, that beautiful man.
Yes, and he's good at pointing out some of the silliness, some of the things that...
I've seen the cage door clip. It makes me happy.
Yeah, the cage door thing was great because, like, I wonder how much they tell him before the show, or if he just wanders in to the building 5 minutes before airtime and they just hand him a mic and say, "Go for it. Call what you see."
So is this another 5-match kind of like special? 5-match card? Okay.
Yeah. The big tag match was first. So
cool.
Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk was every bit as great of a match as you would imagine because of who's in it. Like, you know, Punk and Zayn worked well as a team. Seth and Bron, again, fantastic. Big story point coming out of the match is the return of Big Bronson Reed. He came in through the crowd, immediately just makes a beeline for Punk and sends him straight through the barricade. Bron Breakker gets the win, gets the pin on Sami Zayn. On commentary, as this match is sort of closing up and they're standing tall, getting the heat, the words "dangerous coalition" is said by Joe Tessitore. I love that name because it's a bit of a throwback to the Dangerous Alliance, but it's not a carbon copy. And I'm hoping that's sort of how this theme is going to go.
You can only hope.
Yeah. Love that. It was really good, and of course, it's great to see Bronson Reed again.
It's hard to hate Big Jonah and watch a Big Jonah just squash people, man. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun.
I lived in Melbourne many years ago, and the train station where I'd get off, like to get home from work, turns out the building right across the road from Essendon train station was where MCW used to run their shows.
Cool.
And that was sort of one of the first times I ever seen indie wrestling, when I just went and had a look, because I could hear the sound from outside. Like, as I'm walking out of the train station, I hear that bump in a ring sound. And I look in, and here's Jonah Rock and the loose ledge Adam Brooks.
Yes.
Now, those two have had many, many matches. All of them fucking brilliant. Right?
Yeah,
those two,
makes sense.
they just have that chemistry where they can't do a bad match.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just great to see Jonah back on there doing the Bronson Reed thing and hitting just a crushing tsunami on Punk after the match. It looked fantastic. It looked sick. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Punk for a few weeks just to sell that, because it looked really, really big.
He might not be selling.
Also possible.
It just looks painful to be hit by Big Jonah. So, fair.
Chelsea Green getting a rematch against Zelina Vega for the Women's United States title. Again, Chelsea Green's character work is fantastic. She's so good. She's very funny. And it clicks. And it works really well. So Piper Niven interferes in the match. But Chelsea can't capitalize. And Zelina Vega hits a super code red off, I think it was the middle rope. It might have been the top rope. But either way, it's an elevated code red. It looked sick and should have ended the match and did. And it was every bit as good of a match as you think. It's Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega. They're both, very much know what they're doing. And
it's a shame it was as short as it was. They did not give them a lot of time. They're like, we needed a women's match. There's no women on this show. Okay, they could have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right off the back of the opening match, which was an absolute banger.
Yep.
Promo for Chad Gable. Actually, Chad Gable, not El Grande Americano.
Cool.
Chad Gable versus Vikingo at Worlds Collide. I have high hopes.
That'll rule. That'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, Vikingo, I haven't seen a bad Vikingo match.
So this is a special, and they're still doing promos for other shows coming up?
Yeah. But I think it's because it's the first one with AAA, like co-branded with AAA.
Sure.
I get it.
Okay.
I understand.
Cool. Yep. Cool. Great. Yep. Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to skip past the next one. It's a recap video package of the Cena heel turn again.
Great. Next.
Yeah, next. Cena versus R-Truth. I believe it's a non-title match. But still, good match with plenty of story behind it. Cena does his heel entrance, right? The plain black screen, just with white writing. Everything looks very plain. Yep. Same old music. R-Truth comes out doing the babyface Cena entrance.
I saw that. That's very funny.
With the jersey, the sweatbands, everything.
His face was on the shirt, though, wasn't it? Instead, it was like, it was very cool.
Yeah. I think where it said John Cena something or other, he changed John to Ron.
Yeah, I saw that. So good.
Yeah.
God bless.
That was good, and Truth is great. You can't hate Truth. So Cena probably does the most heelish work so far, I would say. He does the old bit where he's about to hit him with the belt. He stops and the ref takes the belt off him, turns around to get rid of the belt. Cena kicks him in the balls, hits an AA, job done. It's becoming more like classic old-fashioned heel. There's nothing overly flashy about how he's doing heel work, but makes sense given that his whole thing now is, I'm going to ruin wrestling. So he's not doing anything fancy or new.
My only prevailing thought with this, and it's also the same thing that happened when you described R-Truth doing the promo on Raw, is that it sounds like the promo is really good. And then he gets to go and do this thing where he gets to have this big moment, John Cena, do the gear, all this kind of thing. They get to have this big night, which is really, really cool. And it sucks knowing that this will be a one and done. Now you won't see R-Truth for a while, and he'll come back and he'll be doing funny stuff again. And I hope it's not. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a bummer that this is a one and done because it sounds really, really quite interesting.
I would love for my inner fan wants to see Cena and Truth retire each other at the end of this tour. Because that'd be
kind of fun.
Truth, how old? He's in his 50s.
Hard to tell, but yes.
Yeah, but it makes sense for him to retire at some point soon, given his age. Mm-hmm. And Cena's announced he's going to retire. So, and given the history between the two, even though it was always very one-sided, it was very, Truth wants... Truth loves Cena. And there wasn't a whole lot back the other way, but it would be a good moment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me.
Yep.
On Cena's way out, he runs into Jey Uso backstage. They have a bit of a promo, and the promo's kind of good-ish. Because it's kind of like, because Cena's thing is, I'm here to ruin wrestling.
It is.
Hey,
it's working.
If you lose the World Heavyweight title to Logan Paul, that would ruin wrestling. And kind of tries this thing where he tries to sort of turn up the pressure on Jey to make Jey break. To think he can't, be main event Jey Uso. Which kind of made sense a bit, but it was still like... And for what happens later, it makes sense. Going into the cage match now, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest was great. It was, every bit as brutal as you would expect, and they're definitely here to blow off this feud, which is good. I like that they're doing that. And this was a great ending, really, to their story, right? Because it goes back to the start of the Judgment Day where Edge was leading them, because Damian Priest hits a concerto on Drew McIntyre and walks out of the cage. It's a clear, definitive win. There's no more grey area of, who's the better man on the night? Well, we found out. No question. So I hope they go somewhere good now with Priest. He needs to go into the world title picture now, because after winning a feud like that, it makes sense. What happens with Drew, I don't know. They may give him a holiday and have him come back later. But yeah, it was good. Did you see it?
I have not seen it. I believe it would be good.
Yeah.
I believe it would be good. Like I said, I'm just... WWE has me slightly checked out on things. I will probably end up having to go and watch that one because it sounds fun and violent.
Yeah. Oh, and it was. Yeah.
Oh, God. Did Logan Paul main event?
Yes, he did. One match to go. Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight title.
Okay.
Jey gets a good match out of Logan. We've all seen how athletic Logan Paul is. Mm-hmm. So as long as he's in there with someone who can, with a good ring general who can sort of get a good match out of him, the match will always be pretty good to good. And this went well. Cena interfered. And that led to it basically being a DQ, no contest finish.
It ended in a DQ?
No, wait, sorry. No. Sorry, I got that wrong.
Okay.
No, Jey won with the Uso splash.
Okay, all right. That's
it was a splash
nicer.
off the top, but there was definitely an attempt by Cena to screw over Jey. And Cena gets back in after the match, beats up Jey. Cody returns.
Cool.
And
Monster Pop,
we end up with... Oh, huge. Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Crowd went off.
Mm-hmm.
Commentary went off. It was a good moment. And then Cody grabs a mic. And we have Cena and Logan versus Jey and Cody at some point in the future.
I'm sorry, I'm so apathetic towards Logan Paul. One, I think he's not a nice person or human being, right?
True.
But also, I don't like the way he wrestles because it feels like... It's like an AI drawing of art. It has all the parts that are meant to make up good art, but it's artificial and raw. You know what I mean? It's like if you had a photocopy of the Mona Lisa.
I get the feel.
It's not the Mona Lisa. It's all the bits are there, but none of the connective tissue is there. It's just this rehearsed
look
thing.
Good? Oh,
and it does look good, but it doesn't. It feels closer to Cirque du Soleil, and that's fine, but it's not for me. It's not. If it's for you, fantastic. He's clearly very athletically gifted.
How they put together his matches. I'd love to know how that happens. I hope that this backstage show that they're working on, I hope that is featured at some point.
That would be cool.
Because I think it's like he said, all right, I need moves that look cool, and he's Googled moves that look cool. Oh, buckshot lariat, that looks cool.
It's Hangman Page's moveset.
Yeah. Frog splash, that looks. I could do that, and he does. His frog splash looks sick. So, okay, cool, do one, but like,
yeah,
I think I understand the psychology of a match and the storytelling of a match should best be left to the other person in the match, and it probably is. You would think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get what you mean with Logan Paul, and yeah, I don't know if there's going to be another main event with him in it.
It seems like it.
It seems like
they're putting him with Cena, probably, foreseeably.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
And that's the show. That's all the WWE for this week.
Well, I mean, seeing as we talked about Hangman Page's moveset, like, ladies and gentlemen, shit is about to hit the fan because it is an AEW pay-per-view week, and these are not 5-match shows. So let me try and be semi-fast. This is an 11-match card with the pre-show, and it's a doozy. Your first match is Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. They have been two sets of feuding women's tag teams for a little while now. Megan Bayne continues to be huge and just like an absolute beast. At one point, she hits a double German suplex, but they're not back to back. They're next to each other, and she just goes around both. It's boss. But for a wonderful change of pace, eventually you have the mix-ups, you have the distraction, and Harley Cameron pins Penelope Ford to win that match for the good people. I will always be happy to see Harley Cameron do well. She is endlessly entertaining and
she's
Australian.
still leaning into that fascinated by Anna Jay's ass thing, because totally 100%. I get it. Yeah.
At one point, she literally feeds Penelope Ford's head into it. Like, she's laying down and she's just driving it into Anna Jay's rear, which is great. I've said this to friends before. Harley Cameron is so talented that the fact that she is unbelievably beautiful, and it's like the 6th most interesting thing about her. Like, she's so talented. She's so good. Keep putting her on my television. The other pre-show match is Crew, which is Action Andretti and Leo Rush teaming with Roppongi Vice of Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero versus AR Fox, Commander, Hologram, and Bandito. It's an 8-man all flippy shit match, and it's so much flippy shit. There is this spot where AR Fox, Commander, Hologram, Bandito all hit like over the top rope, various flips, like perfectly simultaneously. It's ridiculous. It's just, we wanted to put a lot of people on the show, give them 15 minutes to be stupid, and off you go. There's no story to tell. It's just really fun. Yep. And like
4 toddlers, red cordial, and let the camera roll.
Pretty much. Pretty damn much. The pay-per-view proper is bookended by the Owen Hart finals matches. The first match up is Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné. It is really, really good. It's one of Mercedes' best matches since she's been in AEW. It is very much the idea of like Mercedes being kind of quicker and more of your counter wrestler versus the sheer power that is Jamie Hayter. Mercedes still bumps like a lunatic. The ragdoll she takes off the power moves from Hayter is incredible. She has her locked in the statement maker multiple times. She hits a bunch of backstabbers. It's amazing. She is constantly trying to duck and avoid that big Haterade clothesline. And eventually this match does end with Jamie going for the Haterade. Mercedes kind of counters it, and it looks like it's going to be a roll-up. It's half a roll-up, half. She just spikes her on her goddamn head. It looked gnarly. And Mercedes Moné is your Owen Hart Cup winner. She is going to go to All Out to verse the winner of Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa, because Mercedes gets to have all of the belts, which is, like, look, undeniably cool. She has been so goddamn good, and she is undeniable. I want Jamie Hayter to win with all of my heart and soul, but I can't ever be sad at Mercedes just showing up to continue to do amazing wrestling. There's no... I can't get mad at that. Your next match is FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. This is built for a little while over on Collision and Dynamite with FTR kind of messing with the commentary people and Tony Schiavone, and then Daniel Garcia standing up for them, and then Nigel McGuinness standing up for Tony Schiavone, so he decided to get back in the ring. It's a really good match. I don't know how... FTR should always be heel. They're great. They're great, just we're better than you, we're going to beat the piss out of you, like we're dickheads, like you suck, we're awesome kind of thing. Nigel McGuinness has not lost a step. Daniel Garcia is still phenomenal. It is a very, very good match. If I have any critique, it felt maybe slightly too long by like a couple minutes. But it's good. It looks like they're going to beat up Tony Schiavone at some point, and then they kind of have their comeback, and then they kind of go swing back the other way. Eventually this match ends because... Daniel Garcia's put in the sharpshooter, and they're trying to get Nigel, and he can't quite get to, like, he keeps getting beaten up to be able to try and, like, break up that submission. And Daniel Garcia passes out in the sharpshooter. So your winner is FTR. Your following match is the stretcher match between Mark Briscoe and Ricochet, because bald. Mark Briscoe has a mullet now. He has grown hair to spite Ricochet, which is fantastic. He has a mohawk running down the middle, not a mullet. He has a mohawk going. At some point, he literally has Ricochet in a headlock and like sprays liquid and like shines his head up. It is so silly. On top of the fact that Ricochet gets the scissors he's been using as like a signature weapon and hits Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe bleeds buckets. He bleeds a lot. He is so much reminding me of Mick Foley these days because he's so over and he's so ridiculous, and it's such a, like, he puts himself through so much. Like, he's just kind of beloved, and like no amount of him losing will ever matter. Like, it has such the Mick Foley effect. It is a very, very good match. Ricochet does win this stretcher match. There is this amazing shot at the end where like Ricochet is kind of like standing at the top of the stage, grandstanding, and it cuts to a low shot of his like the scissors on the ground with like a blood trail that leads to like the ambulance with the door closed. It's a really good shot. Production did a lot of really cool stuff for this pay-per-view. There was a lot of like where they just left no camera cuts for a minute plus and just let you watch the action happen, and it's very, very cool. And that shot was particularly excellent. Good match.
See, yes. AEW, I think they're good with blood, but back like in the early days of AEW, they just went ridiculously overboard with the blood, which makes me sort of cautious now when it happens. Because there was a period, especially during the pandemic,
Mox used to
where like it was a weekly occurrence. There was I think it was 7 or 8 weeks in a row someone was bleeding. I'm like, you're overdoing it now.
The cage match he had with Joe not long ago was the first time Mox has bladed in a long time. Outside of that time, he got the spiked bat in the back. But outside of that, like, he hasn't bled in a while, actually. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is now, like, if you use it sparingly, it's good. But if you overdo it, you kill it.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, so now if there's a bit of blood here and there, okay, cool. Like, I'm on board with it now, but yeah, back then, I was well and truly over it.
For sure. I get you on that one. Up next, Tag Team Championship, the Hurt Syndicate. They hurt people, accompanied by both MVP and MJF versus the Sons of Texas. This match was much better than it had any right to be. You forget how good Sammy Guevara is at the wrestling, and especially at getting ragdolled by someone much bigger than him. It's great. The kind of through line for this was MJF kept trying to help the guys cheat. Where he'd be like trying to be like, here's the diamond ring, and like Sheldon would be like, oh yeah, and you watch Bobby Lashley, no. Like, we don't need that stuff. We'll kill him. Like, we don't need your cheating's not necessary.
They're destroyers.
Yeah, and there was a bit on the outside too where he's just like, I'm gonna hit Dustin with this diamond ring, and Bobby Lashley just gets in the way. He's like, no. Like, watch this. This is better, and then just spears him straight through a crowd barricade. Like, just kills them stone dead. The Hurt Syndicate are your obvious winners of this, but this was a match I had no interest in and was actually very, very fun. So, can recommend. Then you had Kazuchika Okada versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Okada gets his big full pay-per-view entrance. stands in the circle of like laser lights and like with his coat changing color and like comes out Speedball coming out in Balatro inspired gear, which is fun. It had all of like the colors and cards on it, which was really, really fun. And again, it's an awesome match. Like Speedball is working as the underdog, as the smaller, kickier man, and Okada is still, you know, being a cocky prick Okada, and like putting it. But Okada definitely decided to put on his dancing shoes because this is a good match, and the finish is amazing. Where Okada's kind of down for, I believe he calls it. It's a Final Fantasy reference. I believe he calls it Ultimate Weapon, where Speedball will come off like with the backflip into dropping both knees off the top. And he goes for this, and Okada drop kicks him.
The 450 knee drop, or the
yeah,
the 450 knee drop, or the moonsault knee drop.
450.
I think he's done both.
The 450, yeah. And Okada drop
sick.
kicked him out of the sky, like mid flip. It's amazing, and then just rainmaking his goddamn head off, like just laid it in, nice and snug. 1, 2, 3. Okada is retaining there. It still looks like they're building towards Okada and Kenny at All In to probably unify some belts. And yes, give me all of that, please. All of that, please.
100%. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Next up was Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's World Championship. The entrances are both fun. Toni has very, very cool kind of like black and red, like almost like Lolita style gear, which is fun. The match is fantastic. Both of them keep trying to like spontaneously bursting into dance because that's what they do, and it's all kinds of like nonsense kind of.
It's a Mina Shirakawa match. Yeah.
Flirting. Yeah, and it's a Toni match being like, weird and eccentric.
Yeah.
And Mina is honestly the highlight of this match. This felt like a showcase. She was so goddamn good. She was still so over. There's this wonderful spot on the outside where like Luther's tending to Toni, and like Mina runs at him, and Luther like gets in the way, and she's like fine. So she like kicks him low and uses him to like vault over him to hit a move on Toni. It's very, very, very cool. But it does unfortunately end up in a win for Toni Storm. They do then eventually get up and have like the kind of handshake moment. And then because Toni Storm is the bisexual icon we all love, she starts slowly pulling in Mina Shirakawa, who mouths the words, "What about Mariah?" And then Toni says, "What about Mariah?" And then they just both kiss full on the lips to the cheers of all the masses. Yeah, exactly. Because Toni Storm is a bisexual icon and she can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Her and Juice Robinson, that must be the weirdest household. You ever thought about that? That that's the household? Like Juice and Toni?
I'm picturing like silly theater of the mind is Juice and Toni, and then next door, Rhea and Buddy.
And then next door, Becky and Seth. Yeah, they're all one row of wrestling
Wrestlerville.
couples. Yeah, 100%.
You think about that, like now that there's so many Australian wrestlers seem to end up sort of around the Tampa or Orlando area.
Yeah.
There's got to be like Little Australia. You know how like most American cities have got a Chinatown or a Koreatown. Yeah, now there's a Little Australia somewhere in
Someone
the
has a
States.
flat white with Tim Tams for sure. Next up, wonderfully introduced by Justin Roberts, which was just, oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. It is Anarchy in the Arena. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, Willow Nightingale, Katsuyori Shibata, and Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir, the Great Yuta, and the Young Bucks. It's ridiculous. Swerve comes out in like Predator gear. His Tron behind him is in like the kind of the colors, like the heat vision thing. It's the most ridiculous. Kenny comes out. He's wearing like a shield, like a Captain America shield with the Omega symbol on it, and just like stands with those fireworks. The big theater kid that he is. The Young Bucks come up wearing like Confederacy gear, because they're the founding fathers of AEW, and they wrestle the full match in this. It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's so ridiculous. Like, yeah, they come with the ruffles and everything. They have like a big flag. It's ridiculous.
Like Revolutionary War kind of.
Yes, that kind of gear.
Okay.
Not necessarily the Confederacy.
Not Confederacy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we can't be saying that. We're too bold and white. And it's a schmoz from the beginning. There's music playing, and then at some point they all get thrown to the outside, and Kenny Omega goes, no, this is the wrong music. There's only one song for this. If you know the words, sing along. And blaring repeatedly over the speaker system is Let the Bodies Hit the Floor by Drowning Pool. It plays non-stop. And I'm like, we've peaked. It's so dumb. It's like, I can't recap every spot of this match. At some point, they just have the screen. They have 4 different camera angles on at once. They're like, you figure it out. Like, It's madness. At one point, there's like a forklift that gets driven out that Swerve is on, and he jumps off a forklift onto people. People get thrown from like the upper grandstand into the lower on a bunch of people, and then Kenny Omega moonsaults off the top of that into more people. At one point, Willow is chained to the ring post through her ear, through like her piercing. So she's held there via the head. That was pretty insane. The Bucks go full ridiculousness. Powerhouse Hobbs is being jacked. At one point, it looks like there's going to be we have some Gabe Kidd interference. Hook comes back to even his score with Claudio. And you get a tiny little bit of Samoa Joe being like, Hook, yeah, come join us. And Hook is like, no, and then leaves. So that'll be something at some point. Willow Nightingale has this amazing spot of going buck wild, where she like spears Marina, spears Yuta, gets the double spear on the Bucks. And then she's been wearing these like overalls the whole time, and she stands next to Will Hobbs and pulls the overalls down, and she's also wearing like big black and jacked, like the same shirt, and she's hitting the double buys. You could never make me hate Willow Nightingale ever.
She's the best.
Marina Shafir is in there as well, like mixing up with the guys. I love that they had the women mixing up with the guys. Like she's in there, like kicking people and hitting them with plunder. At one point, she goes to hit Kenny Omega, who like holds her, and she like slaps him in the face. She's like, come on, do it. So he goes, okay, and just hits a full Snapdragon suplex on Marina Shafir, who gets like absolutely annihilated. It's such chaos. It's so much. It's all of the everything. It's peak ridiculous. The match ends when I believe Matt Jackson is given the one-winged angel off of the stage through a table that has gear on it, like electrical gear, so it explodes. And then in the ring, Swerve hits his stomp onto Nick Jackson wearing his new signature shoe, which is full of thumbtacks on the bottom. And that is the ending of...
The thumbtack sneaker is kind of a thing for Young Bucks matches. So I'm glad it got used on them.
Yeah,
I like that. It's a good touch.
You have your goodies win. Like I said, in the most chaos. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. Like, you should watch it. I cannot possibly recap it all. We would be here for too long. Your cooldown match is the Don Callis family versus the Paragon, and even the cooldown match ruled. The cooldown match is really, like, you can't take Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Josh Alexander, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher and not have that be good.
It was always going to rule. Yeah.
It was always going to rule, and it did rule. The Don Callis family picks up the win via chicanery. And then in some extra craziness, I guess, because we have to remember Forbidden Door is a thing at some point, the rest of the Don Callis family is beating up on the Paragon, who then get help from the team, the threesome of Tomohiro Ishii, Big Brody King, and President Ace himself, Hiroshi Tanahashi, shows up to run off the heels. Who's standing there and his music hit. And I'm like, wait, why is President Ace here? Because he is.
Because his hair made it happen. There's some sort of supernatural power contained with the hair. And it just says, you need to be at this arena on this day. And he just goes.
And then everyone cheers because it's...
Because it's Tanahashi. I got to see him perform once on a New Japan tour when they came to Melbourne, and they played Festival Hall, which if you have any the long history of Australian wrestling, a lot of it is contained within festival hall, and I got the chance to go there and see a New Japan card, and Tanahashi was on that. I'm like, I will not forget this ever.
And you have not?
No, it was very, very good. Very good show. Will Ospreay was on it. Rocky Romero was on it. Yeah, it was very good. Jay White was on it too.
I mean, look, speaking of the man, last but absolutely not least is your Owen Hart men's final between Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. They both get big main event entrances. Hangman has this promo package of like all of his hardships leading up to like the point of where he's at now. Will has this like big ridiculous like coat on with like, you know, all the cheering going on, and this is one of the best wrestling matches. It might be the best wrestling match I've ever seen. It is it's unreal. It's so good. I have massive recency bias, I'm sure. It is. Both of them want it so bad. They hit everything on one another to try and get the job done, between hidden blades and buckshot lariats and all the power bombs and all the kicking. It's very much similar to what you talked about, speed versus power. They both go to the well of people who have inspired them. At one point, Will Ospreay hits a Styles Clash from the ring apron to the floor. At one point, Hangman goes for the best moonsault ever and whips it. They have almost this like an anime face-off where like Hangman's about to hit the buckshot and Will kind of gets up against the other ropes and like pulls the elbow pad off for the hidden blade to be like, who gets it first? Like, let's go. And they like run at each other. A buckshot takes Will's head off, who kicks out at 2.9, much to the collective gasp of everyone in attendance. It's there's a moment where towards the end, Will has Hangman like leant against the ropes, and he goes, "What else do I have left? I know what I have left," and does the full Kenny Omega pose. Hits him with the V trigger, goes to get him up for the one winged angel, which gets countered by Hangman dropping out of it and hitting Will with big pressure with Swerve's finish. It's so good. It's so good. It's if you've been paying attention, it's every possible callback, but it's also just it's two people doing everything they can to get this thing so that they can take back, you know, AEW and get the title back off of Jon Moxley. And ultimately in this final sequence that I think has like no camera cut for the last hour, like minute and a half rather, and they're just hitting each other with everything. Hangman lands a good 2 to 3 buckshot lariats, and that is it. Hangman Adam Page is going to All In against Jon Moxley. You watch him fully break down. He goes to the ramp. He comes back while Will is kind of sitting there despondently. It's very similar to like the Cody from Mania 39, where he's just like sitting facing away like, I can't believe I couldn't do it. And like they stand up, they do the big handshake. Will Ospreay has tweeted out like a photo of that moment that just says, "Go get that belt back, cowboy." The story of Will Ospreay being unable to win the big one is very cool to me, where he made it to like the Continental Classic final, couldn't do it. Made it to the Owen Hart men's final, couldn't do it. Had the world title match against Swerve, couldn't do it. Like, I like the idea of he's this good, but like he can't do it at the biggest possible moments. And also like I watched the press conference afterwards. Hangman came in there legitimately in tears, talking about like, I need, you have no idea how much I needed this and how much this means. Like, cut the best 1 minute babyface promo of all time. Like, I tweeted it. I said something. This means something to me, man. Hangman is such a wonderful storyteller. Has always been through all of AEW's, and for the idea to be like, yep, this is that kind of spark of redemption. He's the guy. Go beat Jon Moxley. God, he better beat Mox. I love Mox. He better be. If he doesn't beat Mox, it's booking malpractice. But yeah, it is so good. Like, you should go. If you are listening to this and for some reason aren't interested in it, that's fine. If you like wrestling foreseeably because you've stumbled across this somehow, please find that match legally or illegally and watch it. I don't care. Just do it. Just do it. Just watch the damn thing. I don't have any money to buy the pay-per-view. Steal it and pay them later. Like, pay them when you can. Just go watch this, especially this match. The whole pay-per-view is good. It might be the best AEW pay-per-view ever. It might be better than when Cole and Danielson debuted forever ago. Like, it's so good from top to bottom. And what a way to end. The first AEW pay-per-view in a while to end with that feeling of not Jon Moxley retaining, of this feeling of hope. And I think that's intentional booking. I hope it's intentional booking.
I hope so, yeah.
But oh my god, it's... Yeah, I'm going to go watch it again tonight. I'm going to go watch it again later. I've made this inaugural episode run long by gushing about it because it deserves it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the show has run long, but that's because there was so much wrestling this week.
Yeah, what a week to
Lord,
decide to do.
So much.
Yeah, what a week to decide to do this on.
What a day to start a podcast. Man, let's start with the most flat-out week of the year. All right. On that note, thank you all so much for watching. Those who have stuck around for the hour and a half of this podcast.
However you did it, really.
Do for an hour. However, listening, watching, however you do it, we appreciate that you've done it. Thanks, Matty's nan. There's the callback. All right. We will see you next week. We have a lot planned. There's going to be more than just breaking down shows.
Preferably when there's less shows.
Yeah, when there aren't this many shows to go through, then we will do things other than reviewing the shows.
We have some ideas. You will hear about them.
Yes.